Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Amy Weber. I am a child therapist, parent coach, and co founder of Speak, Learn, and Play in Brooklyn. This month, we have been talking all about preparation. And today, specifically, I want to talk about preparation, but not for kids. Today, I want to talk about preparing the parent because preparation is for all of us. Parents need their own plans for stressful moments too, because co regulation is much, much harder when your own nervous system is already running around with its hair on fire. And I want to say this right at the beginning. This is not about becoming calm all the time. That's not even a thing. That is a decorative throw pillow pretending to be parenting advice. Real parenting includes moments when your heart races, your jaw tightens, your patience leaves the premises, and you hear yourself saying something in a tone that makes you think, oh no, I have become the villain in this scene. Especially when you are parenting a child who has big feelings, sensory needs, anxiety, rigidity, impulsivity, refusal, explosive reactions, or daily struggles with transitions. There are moments that are just going to be hard. The public meltdowns, the calls from school, the sibling conflict, the bedtime chaos, the homework refusal, leaving the house disasters, a child yelling, "You're the worst parent ever," because you asked them to brush their teeth. And in those moments, parents often try to do three things at once: support the child, hold a boundary, manage their own emotional reaction. And each one of those things would be a lot on its own, and we have all 3, and that is an enormous task. So, today's core message is this: you cannot always control the moment, but you can prepare for how you want to enter it. And that is our key teaching point. You cannot always control the moment, but you can prepare for how you want to enter it. We cannot guarantee that the meltdown will not happen. We cannot guarantee that the school will not call. We cannot guarantee that siblings will not fight over something absurd, like who breathed near the couch first. We cannot guarantee that bedtime will proceed like a peaceful woodland montage, but we can think ahead about who we want to be when things get hard. Not perfect, not endlessly patient, not serene in a linen outfit while chaos swirls gently around us. Prepared, grounded enough to lower the temperature, grounded enough to remember the goal, grounded enough to say, this is hard, not dangerous. So let's start with why parent preparation matters. When a child is dysregulated, the parent's nervous system is part of the room. That does not mean that you caused the meltdown. It does not mean that your child's behavior is your fault. It doesn't mean that you're responsible for regulating everyone at all times like some sort of emotional air traffic controller. But it does mean that your tone, pace, facial expression, body language, and level of urgency can either add heat or lower the heat. And this is super tricky because when your child escalates, your nervous system may escalate too. Your body may interpret the moment as danger. Your heart beats faster, your muscles tense up, your thoughts speed up. You may feel embarrassed, angry, helpless, scared, judged, trapped. You may go into fight mode. arguing, threatening, yelling, needing to win. You may go into flight mode, wanting to escape, avoid, give in, or make it stop at any cost. You may go into freeze mode, going blank, shutting down, not knowing what to do. You may go into fix it mode, which is not officially one of the classic stress responses, but parents know it well. Talking too much, solving way too fast, offering 17 options, narrating every feeling, and trying to wrap the whole moment in a therapeutic blanket while everyone is still screaming. None of that means you are a bad parent. It means you are a human being with a nervous system. And parent preparation matters because when we know our own patterns, we have a better chance of responding instead of reacting. So let's talk about anticipatory stress. Anticipatory stress is the stress we feel before the hard moment even happens. It is the Sunday night dread. It is the school calling what now feeling. The tension before a family gathering where you know someone is going to say something. The anxiety before bedtime because last night and the night before were awful. The stomach drop when your child says, I'm not going, and you already know you have 12 minutes to get out the door. Sometimes we are not just responding to the moment in front of us, we're responding to every similar moment that came before it. Our brain remembers, our body remembers. So when the first sign of trouble appears, we may go from zero to disaster before the child has even escalated. A child whines and our body says, here it comes. A sibling grabs a toy and our brain says, this is going to be a 40-minute screaming match. The school number appears on your phone and our nervous system says, brace yourself. All of those responses make perfect sense, but it can change how we respond. When we are braced for disaster, we may come in hotter, faster, louder, or more controlling than the moment actually requires. We may assume the worst. We may try to shut things down immediately. We may over-explain. We may jump to consequences too quickly. We may treat a spark like a wildfire. And sometimes, understandably, we create the very escalation we were trying to prevent. We need to talk about the difference between being prepared and being braced for disaster. Being braced says, oh no, here we go again. This is going to be awful. Being prepared says, this may be hard and I have a way to enter it. Being braced is tense. Being prepared is grounded. Being braced is focused on preventing every possible bad outcome. Being prepared is focused on staying connected to your values and your next step. Being braced says, I can't handle this again. Being prepared says, I know what helps to keep me steady. We are not trying to convince ourselves that hard moments are easy. They're not. We are trying to give ourselves enough structure that we do not have to invent our parenting approach in the middle of emotional turbulence. Because let's be honest, mid-meltdown is not when we do our finest creative parenting work. So the first practical tool is creating a parenting when things go sideways plan. This is your plan for the moments you already know are likely to happen, not because you're being negative, but because you are being honest. Think about the hard moments that you have on repeat in your family. The meltdowns, the school calls, the sibling conflict, refusal, bedtime chaos, homework battles, screen time ending, leaving the house, coming home after school, transitions after a busy weekend. Choose one of those moments. Not every single one. We cannot build an emergency binder with tabs for every emotional moment, although honestly, some of us would enjoy that kind of stationery. Choose one moment and ask, what usually happens? What does my child do? What do I do? What makes it worse? What helps even a little? What is my main job in that moment? That last question matters maybe the most. What is my main job? Because in hard moments, parents often try to do too many jobs at once. You might be trying to teach, discipline, comfort, explain, problem solve, protect, correct, prevent embarrassment, manage siblings, and emotionally recover from 2017. No wonder it feels overwhelming. In the hard moment, your main job may be much simpler. During a meltdown, your main job might be separating bodies before solving fairness. During refusal, your main job might be staying calm and offering the next small step. During bedtime chaos, your job might be reducing language and keeping the routine moving forward. During a school call, your job might be listening, asking for facts, and not immediately deciding that everything is ruined. A parent plan helps you decide ahead of time what matters most in this moment. The second tool is choosing your anchor phrase before the hard moment. An anchor phrase is something you are going to say silently to yourself when you feel yourself getting pulled into panic, anger, shame, or urgency. It needs to be short. It needs to be believable. And it needs to bring you back to your role. So some examples might be, this is hard, but it's not dangerous. My job is to lower the temperature, not win the argument. We can repair this later. I can be firm without being frantic. Pick one that feels right to you, not one that feels beautiful on Instagram, but makes you want to throw your phone into a lake. It has to actually do something for your nervous system. Let's walk through the options that I just offered. This is hard, not dangerous. This phrase can help when your body is acting like the moment is an emergency. It reminds you that a tantrum, a refusal, a slammed door, a child yelling, I hate you, may be deeply unpleasant, but not necessarily dangerous. Of course, if there is actual danger, we need to respond to that danger. If someone is hurting themselves, hurting others, running into the street, or throwing heavy objects, safety must come first. But many moments are hard, but not dangerous. That distinction helps us lower urgency. My job is to lower the temperature, not win the argument. This one is especially useful when a child is arguing, negotiating, blaming, or trying to pull you into a courtroom drama. Some kids are very gifted tiny attorneys. They will find loopholes in statements that you didn't even realize had legal standing. In those moments, it is tempting to prove your point. But if the child is dysregulated, winning the argument is not the goal. Lowering the temperature is the goal. You can be clear without debating. You can say, I hear you, and the answer is still no. Or we can talk about this when voices are calmer. Or I'm not arguing about this right now. We can repair this later. This phrase helps when something has gone badly and you feel that urgent parental need to fix it immediately. Sometimes repair cannot happen in the heat of the moment. If your child is flooded and overwhelmed, ashamed, furious, or shut down, they may not be available for reflection. And if you are flooded, you may not be ready either. We can repair this later reminds you that not everything has to be solved right now. You can come, you can reconnect, you can apologize if needed, you can teach later. I can be firm without being frantic. This one is beautiful for boundaries. Some parents worry that if they are calm, they are being permissive. But calm does not mean weak. You can hold the limit without adding panic to it. You can say, leaving is hard. We are still leaving. I won't let you hit. The tablet is done for today. You can be angry. The rule stays the same. Firm and frantic are not the same thing. The third tool is deciding what does and does not need to be solved immediately. This is huge. In stressful moments, everything can feel urgent. The behavior, the lesson, the consequence, the siblings' feelings, the mess, the judgment of the person in aisle 6, the long-term fear that your child will never learn to cope, and somehow this one moment with the granola bar is evidence for the entire future. Take a breath. Not everything needs to be solved immediately. Some things need immediate attention. Safety, basic boundaries, leaving an unsafe space, protecting a sibling or another person, stopping property destruction, reducing sensory input, getting everyone through the next 5 minutes. Other things can wait. The lecture, the lesson, the repair, the consequence, the deeper conversation, the email to the teacher, the analysis of what this means about your parenting. When we try to solve everything immediately, we overload ourselves and our kids. A helpful question to ask yourself is, what needs to happen right now and what can wait? Right now, maybe we need to leave the store. Later, we can talk about what happened. Right now, maybe siblings need space. Later, we can repair. Right now, maybe bedtime needs fewer words. Later, we can problem solve. Right now, maybe we need to answer the school call calmly. Later, we can decide on next steps. This helps you stay focused. The fourth tool is preparing a public meltdown script. Public meltdown is stressful because now you are parenting your child and managing the invisible audience of strangers, relatives, teachers, or other parents. And the invisible audience is almost never helpful. Even when no one is judging you, it can feel like they are. So prepare a script for yourself ahead of time. For your child, the script might be, "You're having a hard time. I'm going to help you. Fewer words. We're going outside. You are safe. I won't let you hurt yourself or anyone else." For other people, the script might be, "We're okay. He just needs some space. She's overwhelmed. I've got it. We're going to step out for a few minutes. Thanks. We don't need help right now." That last one is useful when someone well meaning tries to jump in with, "Did you try telling him there's no reason to cry?" Ah, yes, revolutionary. We had not considered that. A public script protects your energy. You don't owe everyone a full explanation. You don't have to educate the room during your child's hardest moment. You can be brief, calm, and focused. "We're okay. We're going to step outside." That's enough. The fifth tool is identifying your support person or your reset ritual. Parents need recovery too. After a hard moment, your body may still be activated. You may feel shaky, angry, guilty, embarrassed, or depleted. Having a support plan matters. Who can you text? Who can you call? Who understands without making it worse? Who will not respond with, "Did you try a sticker chart?" Choose your person carefully. Your support person does not have to fix it. They just need to help you feel less alone. A reset ritual can also help. It might be washing your hands and taking 3 deep breaths, stepping outside for 1 minute, taking a drink of ice cold water, putting both feet on the floor, writing one sentence. "That was hard and we got through it." Listening to a song, stretching your shoulders, sitting in silence before re entering. A reset ritual tells your nervous system the hard moment has ended. I can come back to myself. The sixth tool is making a bare minimum plan for rough days. This is where self compassion becomes part of preparation. Some days are just not going to be your best parenting days. You may be tired. Your child may be tired. Everyone may be sick, stressed, hungry, overscheduled, undersupported, emotionally held together with string cheese and hope. On those days, the goal is not excellence. The goal is getting through with as little damage as possible. A bare minimum plan asks, what really has to happen today? What can be simplified? What can be postponed? What demand can be lowered? What routine can be made easier? What expectation can we release? Maybe dinner that night is cereal. Maybe homework gets a note to the teacher. Maybe bath becomes a wipe down. Maybe bedtime has one book instead of 3. Maybe the play date gets rescheduled. Maybe screen time is not the battle you choose today. Maybe the house stays messy. Maybe everyone needs a quiet reset. None of those things are failure. That is wise resource management. You cannot parent from an empty tank by pretending that it is full. Self compassion is not letting yourself off the hook, it is helping yourself stay in the relationship. And that matters because shame does not make parents more regulated. Shame makes us feel smaller, harsher, more reactive, and more alone. Self compassion allows us to say, that was hard. I did not handle every part of that well. I can repair. I am still learning. My child is still learning too. That is preparation, not just for the next meltdown, but for the long game of parenting. Now, let's apply this to a few common hard moments. Public meltdowns. Your plan might be lower words, move to a quieter space, use your public script, ignore the audience, focus on safety. Your anchor phrase might be, this is hard, but it is not dangerous. School calls. Your plan might be, listen first, ask what happened before the behavior, ask what support was offered, avoid making promises or consequences while activated. Your anchor phrase might be, I can respond after I understand. Sibling conflict. Your plan might be, separate bodies, stop harm, avoid becoming judge and jury immediately, revisit, repair later. Your anchor phrase might be, safety first, fairness later. Refusal. Your plan might be, lower the demand to the next tiny step, offer controlled choices, avoid arguing. Your anchor phrase might be, my job is to lower the temperature, not win the argument. Bedtime chaos. Your plan might be, fewer words, dim lights, same routine, no major lectures after a certain time, repair tomorrow if needed. Your anchor phrase might be, I can be firm without being frantic. The details of all of these are going to vary by family, but the larger idea stays the same. Decide before the hard moment how you want to enter it. Because when we do not prepare, we often default to whatever our nervous system learned first. Maybe we get loud. Maybe we appease. Maybe we lecture. Maybe we shut down. Maybe we overfunction. Maybe we become very invested on proving why we are right. Preparation gives us pause between the trigger and the response. Not a big pause. Sometimes it is just a tiny pause. Sometimes it is just enough to unclench your jaw and say, this is hard, but not dangerous. That tiny pause can change the moment, not perfectly, but meaningfully. So here is the parent reflection that I want to leave you with. What kind of parent do I want my child to experience when things are not going well? Not when things are easy. Not when everyone is rested, fed, flexible, and wearing weather appropriate clothing without complaint. When things are not going well. When your child is overwhelmed, when they are refusing, when they're melting down, when they are disappointed, when they've made a mistake, when you are feeling embarrassed, when you're tired, what kind of parent do you want them to experience? Maybe the answer is steady, clear, protective, kind, firm, warm, honest, repair capable, human. That doesn't mean you're going to show up that way every single time. You won't. None of us do. But knowing the direction ahead of time helps. It gives you something to come back to. And coming back matters more than never leaving. So this week, choose one hard moment that tends to repeat in your family. Not all of them, just one. Create a simple when things go sideways plan. Choose your anchor phrase. Decide what needs to be solved immediately and what can wait. Prepare a public script if you're going to need one. Identify your support person or your reset ritual. Make a bare minimum plan for rough days. And remember that prepared parents are not calm all the time. They are parents who know how to come back to themselves, lower the heat, and remember this is a hard moment. It is not the entire story. Thank you so much for being with me today, and I will see you soon.